Alright, so for this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get started with your room project. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, I'm just going to kind of get it started. So I'm going to start with a plane, and then I'm going to create a box, and I'm going to create boxes on, that'll be one wall, and I'll create another box over here, and then I'm going to move around, and I'll create a third box over here. And we kind of want these boxes to be overlapping a little bit. We also want them to be about the same size. So move that one in a little bit, and alright. So now you can kind of see I have the inside of my room. Good, and I can, if I kind of zoom into the room, I'll be able to see. Alright, now that I have this, I need to use a UVW map on all the different sides. So I'm going to start with my floor right down here. Okay, so the floor, I right click on it, I convert it to an editable poly. Under the modifier list right here, I go down to unwrap UVW map. I hit Control A to select all. I open up the UVW editor. I go to mapping, flatten map, click OK. It's just going to be the one map, which is fine. That'll be my floor. And then I go to Tools, Render UVW Template. For mode, I want to change this to solid. Click on Render. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and save this image. I'm going to save it right to my U drive. I'm going to call this floor. This type that I'm going to save this as is a JPEG image. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Click OK. And let's close out of this now. I'll go to the material editor, M. Click on a blank material. Click on the diffuse. Right there. Double click on bitmap. And then up here, I'm going to go to my U drive. I'm going to find the date modified. There it is, floor.jpg. Go ahead and open that up. Drag it onto here. And then make sure the show shaded materials is on. Okay, now I'm going to open up Photoshop. I'll go File, Open. I'm going to find that one that I had before. So let's go to the U drive and date modified. There it is, floor. Then I'm also going to want to go to Google here. Let's go ahead and Google a floor, images. And I want the top down. So this floor isn't going to work well because it's on the side angle. What I want is looking right straight down at a floor. So kind of like this. This actually works well for me. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll use this image. This one looks good. So I'll go to View Image, right click, copy image in here. Then I'm going to go back over to Photoshop. I'm going to go Control V to paste. Alright, Control T actually, Control minus minus minus. I'm going to Control T. I'm going to kind of transform this so it fits in here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit apply. And let's go ahead and save this. File save. Save this thing as a JPEG image right there. And hit save. And click yes. And click OK. So now when I go back into my 3ds Max, I have my floor done. Now let's work on one of the walls. So again, I'm going to zoom out. Let's go ahead and let's click on one of the walls. I'll go ahead and click on this wall right here. Right click on it, convert it to an editable poly. Under the modifier list, I want to do unwrap UVW, hit Control A to select everything, open up the UVW editor, do mapping, flatten map, click OK. Now the only wall that I really care about is this one right here. So I just need to make note that this is what I care about. The other ones I don't really need to put anything on. It's just really right there. So now that I have that, I'm going to go to Tools, Render UVW Template. I need to click on Mode, Solid, Render. That's the one that I care about right there. I'm going to save this as Wall 1. The format is going to be a JPEG image. Hit Save. Click OK. Now that I've done that, I'm going to close out of these. Go to M to open up the material editor. Click on a blank material. Click on the little box right there for diffuse. Double click on bitmap. Find my wall 1. Click open. Drag wall 1 onto here and make sure that I show. Alright, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go into Photoshop. File, open. Open up wall 1. And remember, this is just the one that I care about. Now let's go over to Google, and I'm going to Google a wall. Click on images. Let's say in my room it is brick. So I'm going to find, I'll call this brick wall right there. I'm just going to go ahead and find a texture of a brick wall in this room. Let's just kind of go around here. We kind of want one that has a lot of bricks on it. So I kind of like this one right here. So I'll view the image, right click, copy on the image, come over to Photoshop, Control V to paste, Control T to transform, rotate this around, kind of have this come there, and then I'm going to go ahead and scale this guy up. It's okay if it goes over a little bit on either side. Go ahead and hit apply. That was the only one that I really cared about, so that's good. File, save. Save this thing as a JPEG image. So I'll find JPEG in there. Hit save. Click yes. Click OK. Come back over to 3ds Max. And now you'll notice I got... So like when I'm in my room, you can see kind of I have the brick wall right there. Alright, now maybe this wall has a window on it. Okay, so again, I'm going to click on the box, right click, convert it to an editable poly in the modifier list. I go to unwrap UVW, Control A to select all, come in here to open up the UVW editor, mapping, flatten map, click OK. Now let's see which one I care about. It looks like it's that one right there, so I clicked on that one. It's that one right there. I'm going to Tools, Render UVW Map, Mode, Solid. Let's go ahead and, so it's that one right there. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'll save this as Wall 2. Change the format to JPEG. Save. Click OK. Close out of this. Close out of this. Let's hit M. Let's find a blank material. Click on the diffuse. Double click on bitmap. Wall 2. Wall 2 I'm going to drag onto this guy. Let's go ahead and make sure that we show. And we can close out of this. Now let's go over to Photoshop. File, open. Let's find wall 2. So I believe it was this bottom one right here. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to Google like wall with window. Let's find just a wall with a window here. And again, we kind of want it looking right on. So maybe interior. Interior wall with window. We kind of want, so this one's good, but I don't necessarily like these images over here. I actually kind of like this one right here is pretty good. So I'm going to right click on this one. I'm going to view this image. Right click, copy image. Now notice there's a floor down there. I'm going to make sure that when I paste this, I'm going to hit Control T, and I'm just going to scale this so that that floor is not on here. I'm just going to make sure that I scale this so that the floor is not on there. Let's scale this down a little bit more. So I kind of want this. Make this a little bit bigger, kind of like that. Alright, this looks actually pretty good. So I'll go ahead and apply. File, save. Save this thing as a JPEG image. Save. Click OK. Click OK. Let's come back over to 3ds Max. Let's see what that looks like. Now that looks good, it's just upside down. That's okay. In Photoshop, Control T, rotate this thing around. Let's go ahead and bring that up. I think it's going to kind of look like that. Hit apply, file save. Make sure we save this thing as a JPEG image. Save, click yes, click OK. Come back over to 3ds Max, and we're good. Alright, now I want to finish up this, and I'm going to do this last wall over here. So, come over here to create, click on this last box, right click on it, convert it to an editable poly. Under the modifier list, we're going to go to Unwrap UVW, hit Control A, open up the UVW editor, go to Mapping, Flatten Map, click OK. And instead of, I'm going to make this the brick wall too. So I'm going to actually go to my material editor, and I'm just going to drag this black one on here and click on Show. Now if you notice, on here it's like on the wrong side. That's okay. What I can do is I can close out of here, and I can just click on this map. I'm going to click on the editable poly. I'll just go hold yes. Click on this guy. We're going to come up here to editable poly, rotate it around. Okay, make sure this should be like -180. Okay, and then come back to the Unwrap UVW, and if we look, now we have brick on both sides. So in my room, when you're going to take a picture of this, you'll probably just kind of come from one side, but now we have like a room. If I want, I can kind of zoom out a little bit, zoom in here, and we kind of have our room. Alright, now the next part of this would be inside of this room. You want to make like a bed and a TV and stuff. When you're making these objects, make sure that you apply a UVW map to them. The final step is to create an object and have that object be animated inside of here. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as inside of this room right here, you just create like a sphere, turn auto key on, let's set it over there. Let's go to like frame 75, move it over there, and just have a ball just kind of roll across the room. That would totally be fine. Okay, hopefully those directions are good. Let me know if you